Hello everyone, it's Carolina Marie. As you read by the title of this video, I'm going to go ahead and show you my newly updated makeup routine. So if you're interested in seeing how I achieved this makeup look, then you should definitely continue watching this video. So before I begin doing my makeup, I like to prime my skin with some skincare items, and recently I've been using this Youth by the People moisturizer, and I really like to use this to prime my skin. I like to make sure that my skin is nice and moisturized before I begin my makeup. So another product I like to use before I do any of my makeup is this Lancome serum, which I recently got from Sephora the last time I went to grab some restocks, and I just like to use this to just bring some hydration and moisture to my face. I like to make sure that my skin is nice and hydrated before I begin any of my makeup routine, especially because I have acne prone skin. So I like to make sure that I have all of my skincare prep before I begin any of my makeup to make sure that my makeup looks and lasts throughout the day. Now to begin with my makeup routine, I like to use this Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. I've been using this foundation for years. It is my holy grail foundation. I love the way it looks and feels on my skin, and like I said before, I do struggle with acne, and some makeup products do clog or cause me to break out, and this product specifically has not, and is the reason why I love this product so much. And so I like to use this as my foundation. And then I like to use this Sephora Dense flat brush to kind of blend my foundation in. And then with whatever is left over on the brush, I like to go ahead and just use on my neck to make sure there is no color difference between my face and my neck. So the next step of my routine is liquid blush, which is like this rosy pink shade, and so I like to apply it to the high temples of my cheeks, just 2 little dots. And then with this flat angled brush, I like to blend that in. So I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, but I do like to start my makeup routine with all of my cream and liquid products, and then make my way to the powder products at the very end. So the next step in my routine is concealer, and I like to use this Hourglass concealer, which is a very creamy concealer. Truly a little goes a long way, so I like to put a little bit on my inner corners to kind of highlight those areas. And then also I like to outline the areas that I am going to be baking, so right underneath the blush, and then also under my eyes, and those are typically the areas that I like more brightness. And then I like to go ahead and use this concealer brush to blend in that concealer before it dries. Whatever I couldn't blend with the brush, I blend with my fingers to just give it that very natural airbrush look. And then these bottom areas, I like to go ahead and blend with my beauty blender. The next step I like to do before the concealer completely dries, I like to go ahead and use this Hourglass translucent powder, and I'm going to go ahead and use this powder brush to tap this onto the areas that I want to set. Shake off whatever is on there. And while this is all setting, I like to go ahead and do my eyeshadow, which I'm gonna go ahead and use this Makeup by Mario palette, which I love. It comes with all of these beautiful neutral shades, and I'm gonna go ahead and just do a very natural eyeshadow look. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a little bit of this shade and this one as a base to my eyeshadow. And then lastly, I'm going to go ahead and blend this shade with a little bit of this other shade at the very bottom. Very subtly tap it into the middle. And then with this flat-ended eyeshadow brush, I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of this shade right here and just create a subtle shadow within. And then to complete this eyeshadow look, I'm going to go ahead and use this brown NYX eyeliner. Recently, it's been a staple to my routine. I feel like it's less harsh and more natural looking than a black eyeliner, so I'm gonna go ahead and quickly do a eyeliner. Now the next step to my routine is my eyelashes, which I'm going to go ahead and curl with this Tweezerman eyelash curler. And then I'm going to go ahead and use this L'Oreal Paris mascara. And then whatever is left over on my mascara brush, I like to just use to tame my eyebrows. I find that mascara really does the job in taming my eyebrows, especially because I have really thick eyebrows. Sometimes I don't like to really fill them in just because they are already pretty thick. And now that the powder has been sitting for a while, I'm gonna go ahead and dust that off. And now onto the powder products of my makeup routine. I like to use this YSL blush, which is in the shade Make Me Blush, shade 54. And I like to use a very fluffy brush to apply this blush since it is very pigmented. And I just like to reapply it to the apples of my cheeks. The next product I like to also use is this Patrick Ta Duo Blush, which comes with this cream and powder blush, and I believe this is in the shade She Goes to the Gym, which is in a very similar shade as the YSL one. And I like to go ahead and use the same brush and kind of tap a little bit of both and just blend that in. And then with my beauty blender, I like to go ahead and spray it with this MAC Fix setting spray just to get it nice and damp, and then just kind of blend in the blush and make it look a little less pigmented and harsh. And now onto the lips. I like to use a Q-tip to just wipe away any makeup that's on my lip. And now onto my lip combo. The first product I like to use is this MAC lip liner in the shade Soar. The next product I like to use is this Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick, and I believe this is in the shade Allison. And I like to just place this in the center. And then lastly, just to bring some moisture to my lips, I like to use this YSL liquid balm, and I believe this is also in the shade 44, which is the same shade as my blush. And then just to finish off this entire makeup look, I like to set it in place with this MAC Fix setting spray. And so that is my complete makeup routine. I'm going to just quickly take down my rollers that have been sitting for a while and then show you the final complete makeup look. So this is the final makeup look. If you made it to the end of this video, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all very soon. Bye.